Hey guys, happy Tuesday night, Tuesday, November 13th. Holy cannoli, can you believe like November is already halfway through? We're almost at Thanksgiving. You know what that means? Christmas is around the corner. You know what that means? New Year's around the corner. And we are just flying right into 2019. Oh my gosh. So guys, my name is Jess Knouse. I'm coming to you from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. I'm an independent promoter with our amazing company called Pruvit. Everything that is stated here is just my opinion. It's not the opinion of our amazing company, Pruvit Ventures Incorporated. And I'm so excited to see all of your smiling faces here. I'm flipping through. I have to use my little teeny phone. I was going to use my laptop and all heck broke loose. So I'm staring at you guys 3 at a time and you're all absolutely beautiful. So let's start the way that we should start every day, the way that we should start every meeting, the way that we should start every Zoom. Let's start in a state of gratitude, right? So if you haven't done that part of your DMO today, go ahead and reach out to one person and tell them how absolutely amazing they are and how much you appreciate what they are to you. Go ahead and do that real quick. And also be thinking about someone you can recognize tonight at the same time. Maybe it's the same person that you're reaching out to. And that's perfectly fine. That's amazing. So while we're doing that, I have some names that I've been given to recognize tonight. If you have someone you want to recognize, just drop it right down in the chat and for everyone to see. So first of all, Louis Franco, he showed up for the first time in his ever event in New York City, absolutely played full out, and he's not giving up. Absolutely amazing. Louis. Tony Cohen for being available, 100% supportive and resourceful when he doesn't have answers, he's finding the answers, which is absolutely amazing. And Greg Clark, Kat Pankta for supporting the community with their time and talents at events. That's awesome. Kat Cox, always showing up. You're amazing, girl. I miss you, by the way. Lori Alberti and Dawn Caldwell for helping to push links of these trainings out to people that can't hop on live so that everyone can have easy access to them. That's amazing. Thank you, ladies. Karen Elizabeth for showing up and taking control. Bella Booker for organizing events in Maine, and she's just getting started. Christy Jones for being absolutely rock star consistent. Kara and James Whitmer for showing up. Bobby Miller for always showing up. She's on all these calls all the time. She's amazing. Tony Salavento, no, Tony, I'm sorry, I messed up your last name. And Nick even told me exactly how to pronounce it. You know who you are, Tony, for moving the most 10-day experience packs. You are amazing. For Moni Eve, showing up and sending her I am statement, which is super powerful. You guys, if you don't have your I am statement written out, please reach out to your COC. Please do that, because let me tell you, whenever I'm down or feeling down, I just say I scream my I am statement in my car, windows up. I should probably put those windows down, let everybody hear it, right? Lifts me up. And I'll tell you, when I receive those I am statements, Christy Jones is really famous for doing that. She'll just send me a voice message and Christy Jones, so powerful. So Moni Eve, keep doing that. Keep sharing that with people. You're inspiring a lot of people by doing that. And last but not least, thank you guys for dropping some shout outs in the comments. Kelly Couch, Dawn Caldwell, Jess Knouse, for being awesome examples of leadership and support in this multipliers group. So guys, let me tell you something. Lori Alberti gave that shout out and I saw my name on there. I'm like, I can't do that. I can't give a shout out to myself. That's just kind of weird, right? And then I thought about it. I'm like, if I can't own that, if I can't receive that compliment, how am I ever going to be able to fully give compliments? So when someone gives you a shout out, they're giving you a gift, right? They're giving you a compliment, they're giving you a gift. How dare you don't fully receive that gift, and so that you can pass it out to others. So own that stuff. When someone gives you a compliment, receive it and take it to heart. Lori, you're absolutely beautiful inside and out. Thank you very, very much. So guys, that is recognition for tonight. Gratitude. Hope you all sent your message out to someone that you are super, super thankful for. We need to do that more often, don't we? Just tell people how thankful, apparently can't talk tonight, how thankful we are for them, how absolutely amazing they are. We need to say that more often, speak that more often. I think we think it a lot, but we don't speak it a lot. So let's make it a habit to speak it more. Okay, awesome. So tonight, we're going to talk about two things that are kind of one and the same. We're going to talk about damn. No, I didn't just say a bad word. We're going to talk about damn, and we're going to talk about third-party validation. So start with DAM. What is DAM? Some of you know what DAM is. Directional Awareness Marketing, DAM. Told you it wasn't a curse word. All right. So what is DAM? For example, it's turning the conversation away from you or from me as an individual and plugging someone into a third-party resource that's matching the hatch. Brian talked about matching the hatch last week. So it's not me telling someone something. It's, even though I know it, right? I know it. It's someone else. Perfect example. I don't know how long ago this was. Brian James and Michael Rutherford were somewhere in public doing a live, and I just happened to tune in, and they were amongst a big group of people, and someone said to, let me think which way this was. I think it was Brian. He was holding up a packet of ketones, and someone said to Brian, "What is that stuff?" And Brian on the live, this wasn't planned because you could barely hear it. He was kind of far away from the camera. On the live, he goes, it's ketones, and I don't really know too much about it, but this guy does. And he pointed to Michael Rutherford. So, like, it's taking the attention away from you and putting it onto someone else that can tell them exactly what you know, but you need to be the messenger and not the message, right? And in this case, you're pointing them in the direction that you want them to go. So I kind of change it up a little bit. Be the compass, not the know-it-all. Right? Right? And you're matching someone that can help someone with something. I'm going to go into more detail. I'm not going to get ahead of myself and go into more detail from that, but I had it happen in my own situation. My father-in-law, I was telling him all about ketones and ketosis and the diet and so on and so forth, and he really didn't believe me. And I was like, you know what? Kind of wasting my breath here. Let me point you into it. I thought to myself, let me point him into a direction where he will learn from someone that's probably going to say the exact same thing that I just said. So what do you know? Brian James was in town, held a workshop, and I said, hey, Dad, why don't you come with me to that workshop? And what do you know? Brian James said the exact same thing that I was telling him. But what do I know? I'm his daughter-in-law, right? I'm just this kid that doesn't know much, right? Took him to a workshop with Brian James. We came home and he's like, you know, I really think there is something to this keto diet stuff. And I really think that it would help me with, you know, achieving my goals and X, Y, and Z. And I'm going, I told you all of that, right? I told you all of that. You weren't listening to me. You wouldn't listen to me. So what is damning? I knew, well, I know now that my father-in-law wasn't going to listen to me. So I was basically wasting my time when I could have pointed him into a direction early on in the conversation that I would have saved my breath, would have saved my time, would have saved frustration, because it was getting frustrating between the two of us, not gonna lie. Because I was like, why don't you believe me? I know it can make you feel better, you know? But we go to workshop with Brian James and he's like, yeah, I really think there is something in this keto diet stuff. So without knowing it back then, because that's back when I very first started 2.5+ years ago, I damned my father-in-law to Brian James. So directional awareness marketing. What is it? It's pointing someone to a third-party validation, which is what else we're going to talk tonight. And there are a lot of different ways that you can utilize third-party validation. There's a lot of different resources of third-party validation. We're just going to go over 3 tonight. I think it's the 3 probably most obvious. So first and foremost, what is an easy way that we all have access to? What's an easy third-party validation? The Pruvit Facebook page and blog, right? Don't forget about that blog. I know it's kind of new to all of us, but there's a lot of really good stuff coming out on that. Pruvit Facebook page. So there's daily posts coming out from the Pruvit Facebook page. It's not coming from you, right? It's coming from our company, Pruvit, and they're all compliant. We got to remember to protect the house, right? They're all compliant, coming right from headquarters. They're way more creative and pretty than what I could make my posts, let me tell you. So it's awesome to be able to plug people into the Facebook page, into the blog, so that they can, it's easy third-party validation. So plus, when we have our big events, Pruvit will post lives from behind the scenes. So interviews with the speakers from Keto Academy and more. I don't have that kind of access personally, individually. I don't have that kind of access, but I can plug people into the Pruvit Facebook page and then they will see it there, right? Third-party validation. We have our bi-weekly Inspire On videos. And guys, I don't know about you, but every single time one comes out, I'm like grabbing a box of tissues. It's so, so powerful. And it truly shows the heartbeat of our company, of our community, and our mission. And keep in mind, you know, a lot of people, when we think about third-party validation, we think about the product or strictly just the product. But in the Inspire On videos, like I just said, it speaks about our heartbeat of our company and our community and our mission. Some people need third-party validation on those things too. Is this company really legit? Is this company really in this for the right reason? We all know that we are, but don't forget that some people need that company third-party validation too. And the Inspire On videos are a great way to share that, because it's not always about the product, or the focus isn't solely on the product in those Inspire On videos. So don't forget to share those. Again, all this is matching the hatch, right? The weekly live with the specialists, Wednesdays at 2 o'clock. Holy cannoli. They're doctors. I'm not a doctor. You know, that's an amazing way. And also, if someone has a specific question, they can just type it right in. That's an amazing third-party validation right there. So going into a little bit more detail about the blog, if you haven't checked out the blog, check out the blog. I have people asking me all the time, I don't know what to eat, or what do you got a recipe for this, a recipe for that? Guys, there's so much of that on the blog. It's absolutely amazing. So don't forget about that. And the coolest part about the Pruvit Facebook page and the blog is that those resources are working for us when we necessarily can't. You know, whether a lot of us still have jobs, still have full-time jobs. A lot of us have meetings, we're tied up, we have sporting events with the kids, so on and so forth. That Pruvit Facebook page, there's going to be stuff coming out all the time from it. So when we can't necessarily sit down and focus solely on our business, the Pruvit Facebook page and blog is working for us. So wonderful third-party validation resource right there. What's another one? What's another third-party validation? Personal three-way messages, Zooms, and in-person meetups. So like I said last week, Brian talked about matching the hatch. And what is that? It's connecting two or more individuals that have like needs. They're going to connect in a way that you can't connect with them. So like, for example, if I have someone that I'm speaking to that their goal is fat loss, right? That was not one of my goals in the beginning of starting ketones or cleaning up my diet. That wasn't even on my mind. But my friend Marianne, when she started ketones, that was one of her goals straight off. And since then, she's a rock star. She's lost 70 pounds of fat. Can I get a whoop whoop for Marianne? That's amazing. 70 inches of fat. So when I have someone now that's looking for fat loss, I can't speak to that. That's not my experience, but it's Marianne's experience. So I can plug them into Marianne because I can tell them what 70 inches of fat loss looks like, but I don't know what that feels like. And I have, you know, we've all talked to people that fat loss is their main goal and they've tried everything, right? Nothing's worked for them. So they've really lost hope. So by connecting those people with Marianne, she tells them her experience and gives them a hope that I can't provide. So plus, you know, that's Marianne's story. And who am I to tell Marianne's story when she's more than happy to share it herself? Kelly Couch talked about the power of stories last week. Marianne's always said, and I know that all of you would most likely say, hey, if there's any way I can help, there's anyone I can talk to, just plug me into them. That's because our community is absolutely freaking amazing. So, you know, don't try to tell someone else's story for them. Plug those people together. Hey, Jane, this is Jess. I just want to introduce you to Marianne. She, like you, also wanted to lose fat in the beginning of her journey, her better journey, and she has since lost 70 inches of fat. She's an absolute rock star. I just wanted to connect the two of you so that, Marianne, you could tell Jane what your experience has been. Jane, Marianne's here. I'm here for any questions that you have, but I just want to get this conversation going because you guys are a lot alike, and I know that you're going to connect and really get a lot of information out of this conversation. So happy to have you guys. on this call, whatever. Perfect example, matching them together. I know that people can lose fat with ketones. I've seen it. It's amazing. I love it, but I haven't experienced it. So that's three-way messages. And sometimes that turns into an in-person meeting, which is absolutely awesome to meet people. Just like when we go to our great big events, we talk to people, we interact with people on social media and that sort of thing, but to meet them in person, to give them a great big hug is absolutely amazing. To talk to them and look at them in the eye, we can kind of see each other's eyes here, but not really, and to really connect with people that way is absolutely amazing too. And when distance separates us all, this Zoom app is absolutely freaking amazing. So utilize that too to have meetings. And this applies to potential customers and also promoters. So don't forget that. Last but not least, some people just don't want to believe what we have to say. Some people are going to be Debbie Downers no matter what resource we give them, no matter what, who we hook up with them or hook them to that has goals, needs, has achieved what they ever want to achieve. There's just going to be people out there and be like, yeah, whatever. You're just trying to sell me a product. And so is the chickie that you hook me up with in a three-way message. Like, y'all are just wanting to make money off of me. So what can you do in that situation, right? Brian James says it all the time. Google. Is Google directly connected with Pruvit? No. Is Google directly connected to me? No. So Google ketones or ketosis is good for, and have them fill in the blank with something they'd like to see better in their health and in their life. Ketosis is good for energy. Ketosis is good for fat loss. Ketosis is good for focus, whatever their goal is, right? That's where they're going to find all of these articles that have nothing to do with Pruvit, but everything to do with the benefits of ketones and ketosis. You can't deny that, right? And that's not hooked to my bank account. I'm just trying, and then that's why I tell people, I'm just trying to get the education out to you to see if this is something that you're interested in that you think could help you, right? And also, I have a library of articles that I have kept from the very beginning, and I'll still go back to them every so often. But, if you're going to forward a specific link to someone trying to match the hatch, just make sure you're looking over that article first, because sometimes there can be conflicting information in those articles, and you definitely don't want to send conflicting information out to potential customers. So I may or may not have learned that lesson the hard way once. It's fun digging out of that hole. So don't forget about Google, right? Third-party validation. So here's your call to action. And while I'm giving this, I'm going to ask Josh Nelson to drop in the link to the Ketone 101 Facebook page, because in 10 minutes, Nick Couch is going to lead that Ketone 101, and I believe Dawn Caldwell is going to be a guest on there. So I want you all to make sure you get there. Make sure you have that link handy so you can send it right to people as you're inviting them throughout the week. Hey, what are you doing Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m.? To plug you into an amazing resource that's just going to give you some general information about ketones and ketosis. So call to action. Start using third-party validation right now. Imagine that. Not that hard, right? Start with talking to people, running them through the play that works. When they respond that they've watched the campfire video, what their biggest takeaway was about the campfire video, what their questions were about the campfire video, even though you may know the answers. Hey, I'm going to hook you up with my friend Kelly. She's been involved in this space a lot longer than what I have, and she absolutely is a wonderful resource. Any questions that you have, I'm sure that she will get you the answer, or she has the answer. If she doesn't have the answer, we have an amazing community behind us that will find out the answer for you. Matching the hatch, right? And sometimes it comes down to personality, because I'm so blessed to have Nick and Kelly both, right? So usually if it's a lady, I'll hook them up with Kelly. If it's a guy, I'll hook them up with Nick, If it's someone's looking for fat loss, I'll hook them up with Marianne. And I've also reached out to other people on here too that, aren't in my, I hate to say it this way, in my direct line, I don't like saying that, but you guys know what I mean. But that just, again, is a testimony to our absolutely amazing community. I'll tell y'all, I was involved in another company. There's no way in heck I would have talked to somebody else's customer before. The Pruvit community is absolutely amazing, and we are here to work together as a team. So use it, right? So that's your call to action. Start doing it. Just do it. Just do it. And I'll tell you, I fought it for a while. Thank you, Josh, for dropping that link. I fought it for a while. I'm like, I got this. I don't need Kelly. I don't need Nick. I got it. But when I did do it, man, that conversation went so much smoother. Guys, help yourself. Do it. Use third-party validation. So I'm going to leave you with this. 2 quotes, and then I'm going to quick hop off so we all have a chance to get over to the Ketone 101 Facebook page. Steve Jobs. He amazing, right? I found 2 quotes from him I thought really applied to this today. So, great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people. And like I just said, not just your local team, not just even the Brian James team, the Pruvit team. And by that, I mean all of y'all on here, plus all the people that you see at big events, plus headquarters, plus our specialists, Dr. Heather, Dr. Andy, Dr. Ryan, Dr. Jacob. Everyone is a part of the Pruvit team, right? And we are all here for each other. And the other quote that I found from Steve Jobs, I know that you've all heard this before, but the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who actually will do it. That's us, guys. Let's link arms. Let's use the resources that we have, and let's dig in and let's change the world, and let's go. So guys, I love y'all. Thank you so much for joining in here tonight. Hop over to the Ketone 101 with Nick and Dawn, and we'll see y'all soon.
Thank you, Jess.
Thank you, Jess.